It's the Scotty Myers Show.
Hey, how's it going this week? Hopefully you are having a fantastic week so far. I'm Scotty Myers coming to you on the road this week. I am in San Francisco, which is one of the areas where I guess we're kind of at ground zero for the coronavirus. And it's weird being here right now. Like, I love coming down here. The Bay Area is one of my favorite places on the planet. I really love it. But knowing that there's this outbreak, it's odd, and it's really weird because most people are very chill. It's not something people are talking about. Like, I kind of thought it would be dominating conversation, and it's really not. Maybe it's an out of mind, out of reality type situation. I don't know. But really, really bizarre. But I know, like, I hear somebody cough or sneeze. I'm kind of like looking over my shoulders. I went into a grocery store today just to get some water. And I happened to go down the cleaning aisle, strictly coincidentally. And I noticed, like, all of the wipes, all the Purell, all that stuff is gone. Like, it's like when you watch a zombie apocalypse movie and there's just empty shelves with like the odd out of place bottle sitting there. That's what they look like. It's crazy. Really, really nuts. And they had like signs of limiting the amount of sanitary products like that you could buy per person. Just really, really nuts. And, you know, and it just continues to grow. The numbers continue to grow and whatnot. And it's having a profound effect on, especially down here, day-to-day life. I mean, I think it's getting to the point now where it's changing everybody's life, at least for some way, shape, or form. But down here, while I was here, they banned gatherings over 1,000 people. So they were looking at things like, you know, the San Jose Sharks or the Golden State Warriors were going to have to play in front of empty arenas, which is what the NCAA has said for the Final Four March Madness basketball tournament. That's going to be played in front of nobody, which is going to be nuts to watch. It really is. But since they made that announcement, the NBA has stepped in. And they've made the announcement they're suspending the rest of the season. Now, they're not canceling the rest of the season, which is a good thing, but they are suspending it, which is going to be weird. Like, you know, we don't know how long this is going to go on. So who knows where that goes. And then shortly after the NBA made their announcement, the NHL released a press release that says that as I record this, they're going to record it. I'm recording this on a Wednesday night. They're going to make an announcement at some point on Thursday, the day that the podcast is released. Everything I've read online, speculation is the NBA is looking at either postponing, canceling, suspending, however you want to put it, part of their season at least as well. So it's going to be weird for the next while. You know, there are just events coming up, like concerts are getting canceled, Pearl Jam, Coachella. You know, there's been some talk of WrestleMania may have to move out of the giant stadium that it's going to be in and be put in a tiny little building because they want to get it under the amount of people that can go see it. It's in Florida, and Florida is kind of going back and forth on what they're going to do when it comes to massive gatherings. So it's very, very weird. And then on top of all that today, Tom Hanks and his wife have announced that they've tested positive for the COVID-19 or coronavirus, which is great. Like, of all the people, Tom Hanks, you know, I'm not saying that he's impervious, but he's so beloved. And in a way, maybe this is what the virus needed, right? You know that there's a scientist somewhere that was just like, Tom Hanks, all right, let me put this book down. I got to get to work. You know, but I'm making a joke, but it is a serious thing. Again, just do what you can. it's going to probably get worse before it gets better. And when I say worse, I just mean more cases. We're probably going to hear about more deaths. And then, hopefully we figure it out and either we get a virus or, a vaccine, or we get some sort of treatment for it that can help alleviate it. Or it just, nature works its magic and it just kind of fades away like some of the other ones in the past have kind of done. It just kind of disappeared. We came up with some treatment. We came up with ways to stunt its spread, and then it just kind of went away. And maybe that's what will happen. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Anyway, I will tell you, flying right now is kind of nuts. Like, the last couple times I've flown down to San Francisco, I've been packed on the plane. Like, no extra seats. The flight attendants and the people, the counter workers and everything coming on going, hey, guess what? It's a full flight, those types of things. When I flew down here, I had an entire row to myself. And across from me, there was it was a big plane where, it has like the 3-seater and then a 4-seater and then a 3-seater. I had nobody in my row. I was on a 3-seater next to the window. And then the middle row of 4 seats, nobody. And it was like that in multiple rows. And I noticed that airlines now are starting to cut some flights because there's just nobody going anywhere. I saw an article today, like millennials are eating it up because there's all these flight deals, especially down here in the States now. And one girl said something like, well, if I die, I die. But at least I get to travel. And my wife and I were talking about it, and she was like, I kind of understand that mindset. And it was like, yeah, you know what? I kind of do too, in a way. But at the same time, I don't want to get sick. So I'm hoping to avoid it as best I can. But anyway, so that's kind of our update on the coronavirus. And I only wanted to talk about it this much is because I'm here. I'm kind of in ground zero on it. But we'll shift gears. Let's get into some more intriguing and interesting things. I saw this headline and I was like, wow. And I was intrigued. I don't know if it makes me a perv or it's just one of the life's great mysteries. But Dolly Parton apparently has said that she wants to pose for Playboy for her 75th birthday. Now, first off, Dolly looks fantastic for 75. I would not have said she was 75 in the pictures that I've seen that went along with this article. I was like, wow, she's 75. That's impressive. There must be magic in the water at Dollywood. But on top of that, typically, you're not running around hoping, going, I really want to see that 75-year-old naked. Man, woman, doesn't matter. Typically, you're just like, I don't want to see that 75-year-old person naked. Dolly, on the other hand, I kind of grew up. Dolly was in her heyday. It's kind of been one of those things like, I kind of want to see him. I kind of do. I'm just like, kind of wouldn't mind seeing that. Just more to solve the mystery in my own mind of what they look like. Because as a kid growing up, I spent some time thinking about them. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be the first to say, not a huge fan of Dolly's music. I'm just not a huge country guy. But Dolly seems very cool as a person. And she fascinated me as a youngster. So I'm all on board. If Dolly wants to do that, hey, make it happen. That's all I can say. And I started thinking if there was any other older ladies like that I would kind of endorse to do the Playboy thing too. And none at 75. None other ones jumped out at me at that age. So I don't know. If there is a senior, and she is a senior citizen, if there is a senior citizen that you would like to see naked, let me know. Scotty Marr Show on Facebook and Scotty Marr Show on Instagram, and I'll see if I agree with you or not. But definitely, Dolly, I don't know. It's just kind of one of those things, kind of like a question you've always wanted to get the answer to, and then suddenly somebody teases you and says, I might give you the answer. You're like, shit, I need that answer. That's kind of how I feel about Dolly. On to our off story of the week, the story that makes you go, oh, for fuck's sakes. And this one is Very, very silly. And I also love that it takes place in Britain just because it kind of adds to the attitude that everybody would have about this story. But there was a guy, he owns a Rolls Royce. Over $500,000 in value is this Rolls Royce. Like it's, and he got his chauffeur to get in a high-speed police chase. And you were thinking maybe like for fun, maybe this guy's like a rich thrill seeker or something like that. Well, he definitely was seeking a thrill. The main reason he got his chauffeur to get into a police chase was because he was having an affair in the backseat and he didn't want to get caught. Just awesome. Awesome. Like I wish we had tape of, the back seat, not to hear the sexy sounds, but just to be like, oh, Jeeves, step on it. I haven't released me royal jewels yet. And that was just the worst British accent I've ever done in my life. I've done better ones, but that one was terrible. But yeah, so Maurice, the name of the guy that owns the Rolls Royce, he's gotten a suspended license and has to pay a fine and all that kind of stuff. Apparently, they let his driver off the hook because he was doing what his boss told him to do. But in my head, I'm like, the driver should know the rules of the road. Like, he should at least get some sort of slap on the wrist for this. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. But now here's the thing. Actual quote from Maurice. All right. Cops pull him over. They finally get the high-speed chase done. And they pull him over. And they asked why. And his exact quote was, "So British it hurts." So British it made the Queen go, "Fuck, that's British." It was like, "Oh, I had a bird in the back and I was having a shag." If you're the cop, I mean, I know you're a British cop, but wouldn't you have to step back and be like, "Jesus, I can smell the fish and chips on your breath as you said that." Like, is it just, that type of thing? Absolutely ridiculous. So apparently, if you have a thrill of police chases, just become a chauffeur and drive for somebody that can't keep his gear shift in his pants. And then you can do it. Offs. On to our geek news of the week. And I tried to keep coronavirus stuff out of this, but I had to start with E3, the big electronics expo that happens every year. And this year was going to be a big one. We're probably going to get a bunch of information on the next PlayStation, the next Xbox. There's always just a ton of video game news that comes out of E3, and E3 is now canceled. Add it to the list of things that have been canceled because of the coronavirus, and that's why they've done it. They're just saying that it's not going to be safe to have that many people under one roof, and they just, would rather gamers do what they do best, which is stay home in their parents' basement alone. And really, right now, that seems to be the safest place to be. I think we all want to be gamers at this point. Marvel in the news. Of course, the Eternals is on its way, part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But now there's a boycott out there. Some group, I think it's called the Million Moms or something like that. They are say that you should boycott the Eternals. And if you're wondering why, if you're going, oh, does it have some crazy sex scene in it? Or is it over the top violent? Is Disney and Marvel going for an R rating? Angelina Jolie's in it. Is she running around naked with a vial of Billy Bob Thornton's blood around her neck? Never forget she had that vial of blood. Anyway, no. What has caused the stir to boycott a movie that we haven't even seen a fucking trailer for yet? The fact that apparently it has been said that there is a same-sex kiss in the movie. Oh my God. Whatever shall we do? Now, I don't remember this group getting all up in arms about the same-sex kiss in Rise of Skywalker. It was quick, but it was there, and it was center screen. Like, they did not hide it. So and who gives a shit? Like, this is one of those things where it's like, if you have enough time to get your ass hair that wound up over something as innocent as a same-sex, I don't even care if this is deep tongue. I'm still putting it in the innocent category, and I don't think it is deep tongue. you have nothing else to do in life. You know, sometimes I think these protests and these boycotts come out of the fact that the people doing it are just fucking bored. You know, maybe they don't have a job. Maybe they just don't have a hobby. You know, take up sewing. Leave everybody else alone. You know, the Eternals has a great cast. Little bit that I did read of the Eternals in comic books was very cool. I mean, it's Jack Kirby stuff, right? And the guy created the New Gods in the DC universe and they're amazing. So, yeah, just let the movie be. I kind of hope that they pick at the damn thing. You know, not that Marvel needs any help making money at the box office, but if they do, it's only going to drive more people to see it. I don't know when people are going to realize. Sometimes when you kick up the dust doesn't cloud people's view, you know? So anyway, I'm sure the Eternals will survive this, but still very weird. There's also been some interesting rumors flying around online, and I don't know if it's wishful thinking or actual rumor. I haven't found a real good source on the rumor, but of course we're steamrolling towards the Batman, and we've got some of the villains cast. Obviously, Colin Farrell's in it as the Penguin and whatnot. And now the internet is kind of clamoring. I've seen this a few places for Johnny Depp to be cast as the Joker. And I've seen some sites report it as an actual rumor. I haven't been able to confirm that or not. But here's the thing. I actually like this idea. I really do. I know some people think Johnny Depp has gone too far into the weirdness category and that the Jack Sparrow thing went too far and whatever. I actually think Johnny Depp has the ability, now whether or not he's ever even being considered for the role or not, to do a fantastic Joker. Now, it's going to be very different than Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, which is fine. Every Joker portrayal doesn't have to be even blatantly inspired by the one that came before it. You know, there's a touch of Ledger in Phoenix's Joker, but not that much. You know, the same as there was a touch of Ledger in Jared Leto's Joker, but not that much. Joaquin Phoenix, Jared Leto, they each had their own take on the Joker, and I wish we got to see more of Jared Leto's Joker. I thought some of the scenes in Suicide Squad, he did a fantastic job embodying what I felt would be the Joker. You know, especially the scene in the casino back room where he just kind of slides onto the guy's lap and stuff like that. I was like, that's very creepy and very Jokerish. I want to see more. Unfortunately, I never got it, and I don't think I'm going to. I kind of have a feeling his time as the Clown Prince of Crime is done for multiple reasons. I think they're moving in different directions in DC, and then also he's jumped into the Marvel Cinematic Universe now with the Morbius role, and I don't think they want to have two prominent roles like that. So we'll see. But Johnny Depp, let me know what you think. The Scotty Myers Show on Facebook and Instagram, at Scotty Myers on Twitter. I'm on board. If that news became official tomorrow, I would have no problem with it. Now, in Star Wars news, we are done with the Skywalker trilogy, but that might not mean that we're done with all the characters from the Skywalker trilogy, and I don't necessarily mean in prequel stories like we're going to get with Obi-Wan. Apparently, Anthony Daniels, the man who has played C-3PO since the beginning, asked J.J. Abrams and kind of said, maybe it's time to put 3PO away, in the movie. So I think he was thinking, maybe 3PO gets killed or shut down or something like that. And J.J. Abrams' reply was, not on my watch. And that there could still be stories to be told of C-3PO and R2. I mean, they're droids. As long as they stay functional, we can keep rolling out 3PO stories, and I'd be okay with that. And as Anthony Daniels pointed out, there is now a venue for smaller scale 3PO and R2 stories on Disney Plus. I'm all on board with that. I really am. I would like to maybe see a little 3PO show. It could be good. Be hard to figure out exactly where to put it. I would definitely put it after the events of Rise of Skywalker, just so, maybe 3PO and R2 are just trying to find their way in this new galaxy. Could be good, like a road trip movie. Except over a show. I'd be down for that. And sticking with Disney Plus and Star Wars shows, apparently The Mandalorian Season 2 is done filming, which means they're going to be editing and special effects, and it should be out in October. I cannot wait for that. I am among the many, many, many that have fallen in love with the child and also just fell in love with The Mandalorian, period. Just an amazing, amazing show. My thing right now is being in San Francisco. Lucasfilm is here. And I don't know how much work they actually do in Lucasfilm. So I'm tempted to go over there because I walked around the buildings the last time I was here, and you can see in the windows. And I saw storyboards. Now, I couldn't get close enough to make them out. Partly I was with my wife, and I didn't want her to get arrested with me. But if I have time, I want to get over there, and maybe I can see it, and maybe I can see a storyboard or two. Maybe. I'm going to try. Just someone, please, raise my bail money if I do get locked up. That will do it for this week's edition of the show. I want to thank you for checking us out. Thank you for all the great ratings and reviews. Those are helping us a shit ton as this thing continues to grow. So spread the word. Tell your friends, your family, send out a carrier pigeon, whatever you need to do. And until we chat again, have a great week.